friends since. But for the last 3 years, while on secondment to special investigations, Horton had seen little of Uckfield. They began walking towards the body. Horton said, "What happened with Evans?" "Fortunately, the knife missed the main arteries. I was just visiting the scene of crime, a house in Hemmings Road, just off the seafront, when I got the call saying he'd found a body. Evans and PC Kate Summerfield were called out by neighbours who were complaining about the noise from a party. Summerfield went inside to tell the kids to turn the volume down, and Evans went round the back of the house. She didn't know he'd been stabbed until a few minutes later." "Did they get him?" "Who said it was a him? Usually he is." Uckfield sniffed and retrieved a wooden toothpick from the depths of his jacket pocket. "The little scumbag got away, but we'll get him. You can bet your pension on that." "I don't think my pension's the safest thing to bet on," Horton thought, given his history. Uckfield manipulated the toothpick in his mouth and stared down at the body, just the other side of the blue and white tape. Horton had seen quite enough already, but he looked again. The grey hairs on the slender frame and the slackness of the skin told him their victim was middle-aged, probably late 50s. He was a tall man, about 6'2". "The body is oddly positioned," offered Horton. "Why like that, as if he's on a cross? Can't have been washed up in that position." "No, and he's been placed, or was killed just above the tide line, see?" Horton pointed to the line of seaweed that delineated the height of the last tide. "He's not wet and there's no decomposition, so he can't have been here long. This isn't a popular spot for sunbathers, though it is sometimes used by nudists." "He's in good company, then." Uckfield stared down at the naked body. "Could he be one of them?" "A nudist sunbather, you mean?" Horton shrugged. "No idea. But if he was, then where are his clothes? They should be beside him, along with his other belongings like his wallet and watch." "Perhaps he left them in his car, in the car park, a couple of 100 yards away. He'd have to be some kind of pervert to walk here in the nude." "It's been known," Uckfield said cynically, replacing the toothpick in his pocket. "Did you see a car parked?" "Okay, so the killer stripped him and took away the poor bugger's clothes after smashing his face to a pulp. It's obvious why. To delay identification. Then thank God he didn't hack off the hands." "Yes, and thank God for DNA," Horton thought. His face could have been beaten by the killer in an act of fury rather than to deliberately delay identification, and the clothes taken away as an afterthought. Uckfield lifted one shoulder in a semi-shrug. "Possible. I can't see a weapon, unless our killer used a large stone to batter him. It could be any one of those around his head. We'll get a search going, but my guess is it won't do much good. If our killer's got any sense, then whatever he used will be way out there somewhere." Uckfield pointed in the direction of the sea. "When was high tide?" "Just before midnight." Uckfield rubbed his nose and looked thoughtful. "Could he have been brought in by boat?" "In last night's fog? If he was, then whoever did it would have to be a very good sailor. But it's not impossible, is it, with GPS and a tender?" Uckfield was a competent sailor like him, but Horton wouldn't like to have done it. No, just very difficult. More officers had appeared, and Uckfield stepped away from the body as a large polythene tent was erected over it. Horton fell into step beside him as they moved down to the water's edge. The fog obscured the shores of Hayling Island across the narrow entrance to Langston Harbour. Horton could hear the slow beat of the waves as they washed gently onto the shore. As the sun grew in strength, it would burn off the fog to reveal another stifling hot August day. It would be difficult, keeping the area sealed off. The sooner they could move the body and get the scene of crime team in, the better. He felt his pulse quicken at the thought of the intense activity ahead. The clock had begun ticking, and the race was on to find the killer before the trail grew cold. This was what he had missed. Uckfield's voice broke through his thoughts. "Any idea who he is?" "No. Why do you ask?" Horton was instantly on guard. What did Uckfield mean? He tensed, scrutinizing his friend's face, but Uckfield's expression gave